We're pulling up old fence all day today. We're rolling up the wire, pulling up the fence posts. It's a pretty big job. I made donut dough last night, and I intended to take the donuts straight out there, but I went to fry the donuts and I was totally out of shortening. So I've got to run up to the lodge and get them fried real quick. Here's how I made the dough. You just pour 1 1/8 cup of warm milk into a bowl. Add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 3 teaspoons of instant yeast. Then there are a couple more elements to whip up. Beat 2 large eggs in a bowl, then slowly mix in 1 1/4 cup of melted butter. Next comes the dry mix, 4 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now the mixer does all the work. Add the butter and egg mixture to the bowl of an electric mixer, then pour the milk, yeast, and sugar mixture into the mixer. Add 1/2 cup of the dry mix at a time and allow it to slowly incorporate. After 5 minutes of mixing, transfer the dough to a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with plastic wrap, and refrigerate it for 8 to 12 hours. In the morning, remove the dough from the fridge and let it come to room temperature for about an hour or so. Then roll it out until it's about 1/4 inch thick and use a donut cutter to cut out the donuts. Then just cover them lightly with tea towels and let them rise for another 1.5 to 2 hours. So that's as far as I got before I realized I was out of shortening in my house. So that's why I'm driving down the road with a tray full of unfried donuts. I'm gonna get to frying the donuts. I found some vegetable shortening, and I've got it heated in a pot to 350 degrees. Now, I had plenty of vegetable oil at my house, but I've learned the hard way that you do not fry donuts in vegetable oil. For some reason, they just absorb the oil and they become really heavy and clunky. It's really essential when you fry donuts to use a candy or oil thermometer so you can make sure the temperature stays at 350. If it gets too hot, the donuts will burn right away. If it's not hot enough, they'll just sort of fall flat. Now, frying the donuts just takes about a minute, just about 30 to 45 seconds per side if the oil is 350. Okay, the first 4 are ready. And I do have a bunch to fry, but it doesn't take long at all. So I'll just drop another 4 in. As soon as they go into the oil, just start watching the underside and you'll see it start to turn golden brown. You want to flip it right when you see that happening. Homemade donuts do require a little time commitment, so don't think that you're going to get a craving for homemade donuts and be able to eat them within the hour. It does take some time, but they are totally worth it. It's kind of like childbirth in that regard. Okay, these are ready to come out. Donuts are the perfect breakfast to deliver to the family while they're working. They don't require any utensils, and people can just pick them up and eat them with their hands. Today, it's all about fix and fence out there. Fix and fence is just one of those duties on a ranch that never goes away. They always say a rancher can never rest too easy or put his feet up for too long because there's always fence that needs to be fixed.
As soon as you get it off, you go to the next one. We moved the fence back that way a little way, so we had to do away with this one, even though it was a new one. So we're rolling it up. We're gonna keep the wire and keep all the posts because they're still good. Good job. Y'all are doing great. Just keep it up. This is the first time they've really rolled up a lot of wire, so it's kind of a new experience for them, but they're doing really good.
Are you ready?
All right, 4 more done. I also like making my own donuts at home because I can control the size that I cut out. When it comes to glazed donuts, I tend to like them a little on the small side, so you get a lot of surface area with the delicious glaze on there. Okay, 4 more. I usually don't drop more than 4 donuts in at a time because that's about the most that I can babysit and not burn them. You may notice I have all these wonderful donut holes on the tray. I'm gonna fry those up too. That's one of the best things about making your own donuts, is you get the holes. At a donut shop, you have to buy the holes. All right, 4 more donuts, and then I'm gonna throw in the holes. I'm making yummy homemade donuts for the fence fixers out there. I've got all the donuts fried, and I'm just taking out the last of the donut holes. Smells so good. I'll let those sit for a minute and whip up the yummy glaze that goes on the donuts. I've got 3 cups of powdered sugar. I'm gonna add just about half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and half a cup of cold water. Very, very, very simple. The donuts don't need much. Okay, totally perfectly smooth. Now, I'll start by grabbing the donut holes, and I'm gonna put them on a baking sheet under this wire rack. And I'll show you why in a minute. And glazing is really fun. I just drop them in one at a time, give them a little swirl, and just put them on the rack. And you can see they're dripping on the donut holes below. All right, now I'll just get the rest of these done. All right, got them all glazed. Now I can't forget about these lovely little babies down here. Now I'm just gonna let these set for a few minutes, then I'll pack them up and take them to the guys.
We've been waiting on you.
I know. I may have tried one to make sure they're okay.
You're not supposed to be eating them. You're supposed to bring them to us.
I really like them. They're good.
So, you guys ready for me to help you out with the fence? I know you've been waiting.
I hope you're ready to sweat a little.
I got it before you did this morning.
No, you did not.
Oh, Todd, you better save me a donut hole. Don't eat them all.
They're amazing.